In this video I'll show you how to flush a coolant system and change the thermostat while you're at it. So this is a 07 Impala, so I use this as an example. First thing is down here by the water pump. To unclamp it, you could use a pry bar here. Just there you go. Now you can pull this hose off and have a drain pan underneath to catch all the fluid. Also be careful that make sure the car is not too hot. Let it cool down first.
GM? Oh, forget about it. Take it back.
There goes that bolt. Over here I'm putting a 10mm deep socket.
Then you insulated this garage? It would be nice and toasty.
Wood. It's coming out. Now you can pull off that thermostat housing.
Coming out back?
Oh shit. That's what it looks like.
This is the old thermostat.
Pop that out.
What's the new part number on the? What's the part number for that? Stamp.
Stamp 48808. Always compare them. If you notice on the new one, this is the way you install it. You gotta read this. It says top towards radiator.
Alright, so now I'm gonna put it in without the thermostat. I'm just gonna bolt everything back up real quick. Looks like in there. So I just held this housing with one hand, and the right hand I just tighten this down. It's a stud. And now on the other side I'm gonna catch it with the bolt and connect the hose back on. Hose back on. The clip back on. Alright, now that the thermostat housing is on without the thermostat and the radiator hose is on with the clamp, we're going to undo the radiator cap, and never undo this unless the motor is cold, because you don't want this, it's under pressure, the contents of the cooling system. You don't want it to spray in your face or whatever. Same thing, like I said, don't do this whole job unless the coolant is cold. So now I'm going to go ahead and undo this. And now I'm gonna put some distilled water in here. This is the only way I would recommend flushing your system. Also, don't forget to tighten the bolts down in the housing down there.
Took about what, a gallon and what?
A gallon, maybe an eighth of a gallon. So we'll close this back up. We're gonna run the car for a couple of seconds with the heater blasting also, the blower all the way up. So we'll do that now. And now I'm gonna go ahead and drain the fluid out by taking the thermostat housing off again. And I'm gonna repeat this process 2 or 3 times until I see the fluid all clear. Alright, so this side, I took the hose off the clamp. You can reposition the clamp to make it easier for you. Stock location isn't good. Now over here I use a deep socket, 10mm. On the other side I put a 10mm little socket, 1/4 inch socket with a 1/4 inch extension. And got that out. So I'm just going to take this out. Now, put the new thermostat in.
We facilitate the installation a little bit easier.
What he said.
What he said.
See the
So
oil?
it's 10W40. Synthetic. Make sure you rim it good.
It's all about how you rim it.
I agree.
That should be fine. Don't put too much. You don't want to go too crazy with that. Just a little bit. There you go, sitting flush. That's how you want it to sit. Top of radiator this way. So now you could go ahead and install this. Now one thing to keep in mind here, you see this little tab here? You face it upwards, so when you put the radiator hose on top of it, you know how deep you are. You're supposed to mate it with this tab. Then you put the clip over here in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now.
The hose clamp.
The hose clamp, yeah. You could also put a little bit of anti-seize or white lithium grease over here. So next time you pull the hose off, it'll come in easier. Come off easier. So let's go ahead and do that now. What I did was, I pretty much put both hands, one hand on this side to hold it and this side caught. So I'm gonna put it this side now. Alright, the other side's caught. I have a camera woman assisting me today. Her name is Brianna.
Hey guys. The clown's real good.
That's the old say.
In and off the camera.
Now don't go too tight.
It's an aluminum housing.
That's good. Now put the hose back on.
You put the hose back on, then you put the clip back on, then you put the antifreeze in, and that's what it's all about.
And don't forget to have a friend next to you to tell you what to do. Good there.
Put your right foot in.
Now you're done. You fill her up.
Fill her up.
Alright guys, now that I showed you how to properly flush a modern front-wheel drive vehicle, I will show you how to do it on a V8 rear-wheel drive, unlike my Camaro over here. I'm just going to briefly describe how I do it. You could do the same procedure. You could take the thermostat housing off and take the thermostat out, put it back on, the thermostat housing, fill up with water, distilled water, run the car, and repeat until the water that comes out when you drain it is clear. Or, what I also like doing is, take the thermostat housing off, take the thermostat out, put the housing back on, bolt it down, then take this hose over here, take it off the radiator, and have it pointing down to a drain pan. Then over here, at the radiator cap, take the radiator cap off, and put a garden hose here. And as the motor's running, just have keep on filling up the tank over here, the radiator tank, and watch the fluid drain out of the upper radiator hose into the pan underneath. And once you see clear water come out, that means you properly flushed the system. Also, like I said, don't forget to have the heater on full blast, full hot as you're doing this. So you can actually circulate the water in through the heater core also. One thing I want to mention is, please do not fall for those gimmicks that you go to the garages, the shops, and they tell you, oh, we could flush your radiator and your cooling, your heater core, which is one and the same thing, with coolant flush. Never, ever, ever flush your motor with coolant flush. I don't care what anybody says. You heard that from this clown. I'm here to protect you. Cause I've seen it over and over again where once they do that, it frees up scale and it goes into the heater core and clogs it. And then you don't have heat. So don't do that. Then you get in for costly repairs. So be very careful with coolant flushes. Don't do them. Do them with water. Sometimes I've seen them done with compressed air. You blow the heater core out. You have to be careful with that too, because some heater cores, the way they're built, they're very fragile, and you could create issues in the heater core. So my best advice to you is just use water, do it my way. There's no threat for any concern, anything happening. I also have a video on how to properly burp the bitch, aka the motor. And check out my videos for that, on how to properly use, what do you call it? I use one of those spill-free funnels. You can check my channel for that. And I also have a video on how to spot any issues with your coolant system, so check out my video for that. One more thing I want to mention, actually a couple more things. Do not spill the antifreeze on the floor if you're outside, because little animals like the taste of it, like cats and dogs, and if they eat that, they die. So you don't want that. You have to properly dispose of it. Also, if you have any, some cars have bleeder screws at the highest point of the cooling system on some coolant hoses. Make sure on those motors you loosen those screws, and as you're filling up the antifreeze, when you're filling it up for one last time, and you're getting all the air out, loosen those bleeder screws, and once antifreeze spills out of them, that means you're good. You can just tighten those down. So look for those beater screws. They're usually in the highest point of the cooling system because air goes up. Gravity, baby. It's science, folks. And also, make sure your coolant recovery tank doesn't have any scale in it, because it could get trapped inside with from the coolant recovery tank to the hose that goes into your radiator. Particles could get trapped in there, then you get air in the system, and it's not a good thing. So be careful of that. You might want to replace your coolant recovery tank or clean it. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you like videos like these or any car stuff, or if you like third gen Camaros like these, come check out NewYorkThirdgen.com. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. It's free to subscribe. You know you want to, and why not? Just go down there and check the box underneath. Like my videos, share me, and while you're down there, you can do anything you want to me, because you know you want to. So thanks for watching, and ta-ta!